everyone. Thank you for joining. Good evening, good morning, good night, wherever you may be joining from. Today, we're going to go over the featured state of Pennsylvania. My name is Meredith Nichols, and I am a client success manager here at Worldwide, and I'm followed by Kelsey Robinson, our senior recruiter. Next slide. The state of Pennsylvania has several large cities. Philadelphia sits at 1.6 million in population, Pittsburgh at 300K, Allentown at 125, Reading at 95K, and Erie at 94K. There are four distinct seasons of moderate weather: summer at 21 to 29 degrees Celsius, fall anywhere from 7 to 18 degrees Celsius, winter -6 to 4 degrees Celsius, and spring at 7 to 18 degrees Celsius. Next slide, please. Pennsylvania is known for its historical significance. It played a key role in the founding of the United States, home to the Liberty Bell, Independence Hall, and important Revolutionary War sites. It is diverse in geography, from Appalachian Mountains and rolling farmlands to forests, rivers, lakes, and Pennsylvania offers a wide range of natural landscapes. It is also known for its industry and innovation, known for the steel production in cities like Pittsburgh, coal mining, and modern advances in healthcare and technology and industry and energy. Pennsylvania is also known for its cultural and educational centers, so home to major universities, world-class museums, rich art scenes, professional sports teams, and diverse communities throughout the state. Next slide, please. Top reasons to live in Pennsylvania: there have an affordable cost of living. As I mentioned, rich in history and historic landmarks, and the four distinct seasons. They have strong healthcare and education systems. I actually had the opportunity to go to high school in Pennsylvania, and they have amazing school systems from high school and education. Diverse job markets. This is actually what brought my family to Pennsylvania, was the job market. They have great jobs from healthcare, education, manufacturing, technology, and energy. Access to outdoor recreation. There's mountains, forests, rivers, state parks. So lots of hiking. There's zoos. There's lots of amusement parks. Anything that you could want to do, Pennsylvania has. Family-friendly communities in small towns. Active arts, entertainment, and sports scenes. So if you are into professional sports, they have anything and everything from hockey to baseball to American football to soccer, lots of things for everyone. Pennsylvania quick stats: there's 13 million in state population. The median age is around 41. An average commute time is around 25 to 35 minutes. There are lots of different ways to commute. There's train, there's subway, there's buses, there's Ubers. If you are living in a big city, there's electric scooters. So lots of ways to get around. 4.1% is the unemployment rate. 38 to 45 inches is the average annual precipitation each year. Average temperature highs sit at about 59 degrees Fahrenheit, with lows sitting at 40 degrees Fahrenheit. The average median home price is $300,000, with average monthly rent at $1,500. And there's a major airport in Philadelphia. Another thing that was not on this list that I will add is that Pennsylvania is centrally located, which is great. I know when I first moved there, I loved how close everything was. You can get to other states in about an hour and a half. So you can get to Baltimore, you can get to New York City, you can get to Washington, D.C. There's lots of things around the state of Pennsylvania that do not take long to get there. And as I mentioned, there's trains that can take you there, just to go visit other big cities. Even if you want to fly in and out of airports, that's also accessible from those other major cities. Next slide, please. Then Kelsey, if you want to take it over from here.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Meredith. So the cost of living in Pennsylvania, like any U.S. state, really depends on which area that you're in. Cost of living can be higher in bigger cities and lower in more rural areas, but they do have more affordable suburban and small city options around Allentown. The average monthly housing cost for a family of 4 is about $1,400 per month. And there's a mix of walkable towns, family-friendly suburbs, and access to good schools. Most people rely on cars, but there are some public transit options like Meredith was just talking about through bus services and rail access to Philadelphia and to New York City. So cost of living comparison, we are comparing this with San Francisco, which California is a really popular state for a lot of people. And as you can see, the cost of living in the Allentown, Bethlehem, Eastern Metro area, which is where a lot of our nurses are going who have signed contracts with Lehigh Valley, the cost of living is way lower than some place like California. Like we talked about, housing is about 1,400, food is about 1,000, childcare. This really depends on if you have kids enrolled in school or you have kids under school age, transportation, healthcare, and other necessities. So it's about half of what you would be paying in some place from like California. So the cost of living here is really manageable. And then, just overall, compared to other places on the East Coast, it's probably a little bit higher, but it really depends on where you live in the state, if you're in a really big city or if you're in a more rural area. Awesome. So if you're coming with us on a green card petition and you have your spouse coming with you, they'll be receiving their green card as well. There's a lot of job opportunities for spouses and dependents. Like Meredith mentioned, it's one of the reasons that her family moved to Pennsylvania because of how great the job opportunities are. There's healthcare and support roles, which you probably already know if you're with us as an RN or a nurse aide. There's education and childcare options, administrative and office support, retail and food service and hospitality, technology, manufacturing, transportation and logistics, warehousing, and insurance and financial services, just to name a few. There are lots more job opportunities available depending on what areas that you go to. And so you can feel confident that your spouse or your dependents will be able to find work when you arrive in the US. Awesome. Something we get asked about a lot is the licensure requirements and English language test requirements for a state like Pennsylvania. For your Social Security, when you do your licensure endorsement, you don't need your social for your issuance of your license. That means you can start processing your license before you even arrive in the US, which is really great so that you can get a head start on getting your license and be able to go to work sooner. You do need an active US license, so that would be having your NCLEX from one of the US states. Fingerprinting is required. Your credentials evaluation is required. They typically accept CGFNS or Joseph Silney. The compact state licensure is actually pending legislation right now. And then they do require an English proficiency exam for your licensure endorsement, but they do accept TOEFL, IELTS, PTE, which as I know is a big favorite, and also MET. So you do have options when it comes to your English language exam, in the state of Pennsylvania. Now, many of you watching might have signed job offers or know people that are going to Pennsylvania with Lehigh Valley Health Network. They've been a great partner of ours for many, many years. And so we hope that you are able to use this opportunity to learn more about Pennsylvania if you're going with Lehigh Valley Health Network or one of our other employers. All right, next up, we're going to do a little bit of Q&A. So if you have questions, go ahead and drop those in the chat. But I'm going to send a question first over to Meredith. Meredith, what was your favorite thing about living in Pennsylvania?
I would say the lots of things to do. My family was always taking advantage of that. We would go to New York and we would just travel around. A fun fact is if you know Hershey, the candy, that is from Pennsylvania. And so that's actually what brought us there. My dad works with candy business. And so Hershey's from there. And so there is an amusement park called Hershey Park that is Hershey candy themed. So my family would go to Hershey Park and in the summertime, and that's what we would do. That's actually where I graduated. That's what my high school graduation was, in Hershey Park. So
That's so
fun
cool.
fact. Yeah.
My family took us there one time on a road trip. We stopped in Hershey, went to the amusement park, and got lots of free chocolate. It was very fun.
Yeah, I bet. Yes, lots of things to do. There's the Pittsburgh Steelers are there, the Philadelphia Eagles. There's lots of sports teams, lots of things to do. So super, super fun. It was fun growing up there for sure. There's also we mentioned weather. There, if you are into snow, there's some ski resorts. So you can go skiing, snowboarding, tubing, lots of things to do in Pennsylvania.
That's
For all
awesome.
seasons, really.
That's awesome. A couple questions from the chat so far. The first is about requirements to endorse your license as a native English speaker. So being exempt from taking an English exam doesn't depend as much on your native speaking, but it depends on which education you had your schooling done in. So there are a list of countries that are exempt from taking English exams based on the language that your schooling was done in. So you should check with your case manager about this. They will be able to provide you with that list. Diane, I see you have a question about openings for ICU department. We do hire for ICU regularly. Our next openings coming up are specifically for Arizona and Tennessee. We don't have any Pennsylvania openings right now. And then I see a question, do you enroll only NCLEX pass nurses? Right now, our opportunities are for NCLEX passers. We do still accept applications from nurse aid candidates who haven't yet passed the NCLEX in case of opportunities that may arise. And then I also see quite a few questions about the travel ban and the visa pause. This is new information that's coming out of the State Department, even within the past 24 hours. So our legal team is working very hard to get updates put in place and to determine the best path forward for you all. So please continue to watch our social media channels because there will be more updates about that coming soon. These updates are just coming out very, very recently, and so we don't have definitive updates for you yet. Let me see if there are some other questions here. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, most of the questions are about the visa pause. Again, continue to watch our social media channels. There will be more updates as they come. Before we wrap up, Meredith, one more question for you about safety in Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Could you speak about that a little bit? I know that's a big question for our nurses, especially if they're coming with their families.
Yes. Pennsylvania is a very, very safe state. There, I mean, I grew up there. My family moved us there, so it is very safe. There's yeah, I mean, lots of safety protocols. So it is very
Awesome.
safe, and I felt comfortable growing up there.
That's great. That's great to hear. Awesome. All right, we're going to flip to a couple more slides about some next steps for you. If you want to connect with us, you can on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram. And if you're a new nurse or you're already in our system and you haven't already signed up for our new Worldwide Guide app, this link down here at the bottom, candidate.healthstaff.org, will give you access. If you have an application with us already, you can use your email address that's associated with your application and click Forgot Password to log in. The app is incredible. It's the first one of its kind in this type of space. Allows you to apply to jobs directly, see exactly what's going on with your application, and get in touch with your advisor. If you haven't applied with us yet and want to, this is also a great place to fill out your application so that you can get connected with one of our recruiters right away. And then lastly, we want to highlight our nurse referral program. You can earn $250 for every NCLEX passing nurse that you refer. We have a couple of referrers in our system that have earned thousands of dollars through the referral program. We would encourage you to sign up if you know NCLEX passers that are still looking for direct hire sponsorship. Awesome. Thank you, everybody, so much for joining today. Meredith, thank you for your helpful insight about Pennsylvania, and we look forward to speaking with you more soon.